Okay, I just thought I'd make this quick little video. It's arguably one of my favorites. I had a lot of fun making this. Recently, I got a couple of questions from a friend who watches this channel. Now, I'm not going to show his identity, of course, but I'm going to show some of the message he wrote. And if you're watching this, you know who you are. Please leave a comment, okay? So this is unscripted as well, by the way, but these questions are just too ridiculous. I have to go over them. Alright, let's start with the first one. So this is the first message he sends me.
Bruh.
Okay, now first of all, you should not be watching that material. It is very bad for you. But let's assume he was joking. Because this person has a very hyperbolic sense of humor like I do. And so I tell him, alright, you shouldn't be watching it. I'm aware I'm trying to reduce my... The fact that he actually answers the question shows that he's rather serious about it. Now I'll show the next slide. He actually asked me to go. Oh, you can't make this shit up. And now you may think, okay, this is not that bad, you know? This man, he has no idea what the fuck Linux is. He probably thinks Linux is some fucking magic box or whatever, where magic woo happens. But these questions just get crazier and crazier. This is the start. I'll show the next. Okay, so now, also, Sidit, can someone hypothetical of course, in case the feds are watching this right now, right? Get away with doing rather controversial stuff on Linux. Remember the controversial part. And I tell them about things like onion routing, the onion layers of encryption, the Tor protocol, and roughly how the dark web works. How you hop by like 3 different computers so no one can really know where you are. It provides a sense of anonymity. So even if they find out what you're doing, they can't really know who you are or trace you back or whatever. Like there's a lot to look, right? And so I give him a brief introduction or tell him where to look. And then he asks me, let's say they're selling some things that aren't particularly legal. Okay, first of all, never say this on anything, okay? Do not really talk about this shit on Instagram, okay? Or any form of text app or whatever. These channels are not secure at all. Unless you're encrypting your shit yourself and sending over encrypted files, do not say any of this bullshit. But it gets worse, okay? So I just explained some bullshit. You'll need to set up protocols and whatnot. Most retards these days actually use Snapchat. Yeah, that's an actual thing. A lot of people these days, you'll be surprised, they literally use Snapchat to, like, fucking deal drugs or whatever. Even, I was so shocked, because things like Snapchat, those things are not secure at all. But whatever, even he says, yeah, Snapchat has your location, it isn't a good idea. Wow, okay, I'm relieved, he at least knows that much. But let's say if someone wants to sell... like, this... Is it possible? So this, again, don't say this, okay? You are going to, it's not a good idea. And then he keeps asking, well, you don't, and then I just reply, like, Linux is just a fucking kernel, like, you can do whatever you want with it. And he says, and then at this point, even I'm kind of giving up. I said, fuck, you're dumb, my guy. Now, obviously, him and I are on good terms, I guess. Like, I don't really... Like, we talk hyperbolically all the time, so I'm not actually trying to insult him. He replies with the N-word. What you say? I think I say the N-word to you, but I'm probably going to censor that. I don't want to get in trouble, lols. Okay, and then again, he asked me more questions. He says, and I just give him, like, some brief overview, onion encryption, and shit like that. And then this is another thing. Your ISP people, or whatever the fuck, they know what you're doing. They can see exactly what you're doing. But if you're using the Tor protocol and things like that, they cannot. Tor is basically like a VPN, but way better. Okay, VPNs are complete fucking garbage. VPNs are just retarded. But yeah, so I say things like, the ISP will send to your house, or white people out, whatever the fuck, yeah, you get the point. I'm making jokes here. You can use Tor on Windows and Mac. That is true, by the way. You can just download the Tor protocol on Windows or Mac, and you can install the browser. You won't have to do any configuration, and you can use it. And then he asks again, can the feds monitor who's selling what if you're using the dark web on Linux? First of all, there's no such thing as necessarily the dark web. It's actually called the deep web, if anything. Okay, and again, for obvious illegal purpose, don't say this shit on fucking Instagram. Okay, now it gets real fucking crazy. Will you be able to sell? What? First of all, what the fuck do you have? Okay, what the fuck are you packing?
You're packing some pretty heavy artillery.
Okay, that's some serious artillery, okay? Second of all, what the how do I even answer a question like this? Why are you even asking? Like, what do you mean? And then he asked me to make a video on it. Okay, first of all, I understand things like privacy and whatnot have to be explained a lot. Okay, questions like this are an example of that. People think Linux is like this cool kid hacker man box, which is just not the case. You still need to do things like use Tor, install Tor. You have to configure it as well. It's a lot easier to do on Windows, I guess. But again, you don't just install Linux and become like this Pablo Escobar, whatever the fuck, or this fucking hacker man. You don't become Mr. Robot by installing Linux. And he asked me I'm not gonna fucking make a video on how to sell illegal firearms without getting caught, okay? At most, I'll make a video on like secure encryption or asymmetric encryption, or basically how to be private about your shit. That's understandable. But like, what the fuck, man? And then I just sent him like 2 basic videos that explain things like public key cryptography. Because a lot of people don't understand this shit. It's very easy to understand. And then how to use basic file encryption with GNU Privacy Guard. So I just sent him these 2 videos, both of which you can finish under 10 minutes, and both of which are good videos, by the way. And they said shit like, won't the feds be able to know through the Wi-Fi you're connected to? So again, like that's kind of the point of Tor. They will not be able to know. Won't they be able to find your IP if you run a node on Tor? I don't think they're called nodes. I think they're called bridges, but whatever, I guess. No, they won't be able to answer your question. The point of Tor is, again, obscuring your location by bouncing it through 3 different laptops in different locations. And okay, won't the feds be... Okay, for the record, I'm not selling illegal firearms. I'm asking out of nice damage control, okay? Because the feds are definitely watching this fucking conversation. And then he just... In the future, I want... It's like, I hope you guys understand how fucking stupid this is. Do not say shit like this over any fucking channel. Believe me when I say your messages are not private at all, okay? I know this is like semi-jokes or whatever the fuck, I guess, so you can chalk it up to a joke, but don't say shit like this, please. Don't deal drugs on Snapchat. And now is where the conversation gets even more retarded. So basically, what a lot of things, the feds and whatnot, a lot of people these days are doing, in fact, is they're storing a lot of data right now, and they're going to decrypt the data later. It's actually an actual tactic, because quantum computers are predicted to exist in about the next 15 or 20 years. So they can actually store data right now, even though it's encrypted, but then they'll be able to decrypt it with the quantum technology that could potentially release in the next 15 years. Quantum computing can break RSA encryption extremely easily. It's just that they haven't stabilized the qubits or whatever the fuck yet. I mean, I don't know too much about this, but the point is, I genuinely think RSA encryption is gonna be useless in the next, I think, 15 or 20 years. This quantum computing thing can definitely happen. Are you gonna get a quantum GTX 69000 to render titties on your screen? No, I don't think that's going to happen. But I do think breaking encryption and running certain algorithms can definitely happen in the next 20 years with these quantum computers. So yes, your encryption is definitely not safe anymore. So I'm guessing this man will be charged 20 fucking years later by the feds. And so I explained to him how there are different hypothesized algorithms for encryption. And one is using the concept of multidimensional lattices. I think Veritasium made a pretty good video explaining this. And alright, this guy asked me, so I explained it, he asked me, do you use that? And I said, I don't think the algorithm exists yet. There was actually a competition one where they just proved the concept. And then this guy asked me, is Linux quantum proof? Even at this point, I don't even know what to say. Like, he says, at least I'm trying to learn. And yes, fair enough, good for you. And they said, it's like me asking Arnold, is it possible to bench 225? No, the questions this guy is asking me is tantamount to me asking Arnold if you can bench with your asshole or something. Okay, that's what's really going on here, okay? To use servers to have a quantum proof. I think people like this, I guess, I think an algorithm is, I don't think this person knows what an algorithm is. I think he just thinks it's some fucking magic or whatever. The same way he thinks Linux is this fucking magic thing where you install it and you become like this hacker, the Silk Road or whatever the fuck. And then yeah, but on that note, I do think RSA encryption is going to fail and become useless in the next, I guess, decade even. So genuinely watch out for that. And again, now this is, can I build a server of my own through Swift code? I'm done. Like, I understand this video comes off as very crude, but I'm just having like a light laugh here. I understand not everybody knows about this tech shit. Okay, and that's fair enough. I think Swift is used for applications. Servers are basically hard disks or computers that run some fucking Debian distro. That's basically what a server is. You don't code a server. Like, okay, I'm not trying to like be mean to this guy. I understand I came out pretty harsh, but I'm just trying to have a laugh here. That's really what this video is about. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're watching this, you know who you are. Please leave a comment. These are some fucking fantastic questions. Thank you for asking that. Alright, have a good one. I'm out, man.